Belgian police officers stand guard outside the trial of Salah Abdeslam, one of the suspects in the 2015 Islamic State attacks in Paris, at a courthouse in Brussels. Belgium Reuters. Members of the International Space Station Expedition 5455, Roscosmos cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov C, NASA astronaut Scott Tingle R and Norishige Kanai of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency JAXA during the send-off ceremony after checking their space suits before the launch of the Soyuz MS07 spacecraft at the Baikonur cosmodrome, in Kazakhstan. Reuters. The former wife of the late South African President Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela R, and the candidate for the African National Congress presidency and ex-wife of the incumbent South African President, Nkosazana DlaminiZuma, greet each other as they attend the 54th ANC National Conference at the NASREC Expo Centre in Johannesburg on December 16, 2017. Thousands of delegates from South Africa's ANC party gathered on December 16, 2017 for a five-day meeting to elect their new leader in a divisive race seen as a pivotal moment in the country's post-apartheid history. The winner will be well placed to be the next president, but the ANC has lost much popularity since Nelson Mandela led it to power in the euphoric 1994 election that marked the end of white minority rule. Getty Images. Palestinian protesters wave the national flag during clashes with Israeli security forces near the border fence with Israel, east of Gaza City, as demonstrations continue over U.S. President Donald Trump's declaration of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Getty. Hamas supporters take part in a rally marking the 30th anniversary of the founding of the Islamist movement in Gaza City. Getty Images. Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate Doug Jones thanks supporters as he holds his wife Louisa's hand up. Ultra-Orthodox Jewish men gather during the funeral ceremony of prominent spiritual leader Rabbi Aharon Yehuda Leib Steinman, who died on Tuesday at the age of 104, in Bnei Brak near Tel Aviv, Israel. Reuters. A Palestinian protester kicks a flaming tire during clashes with Israeli forces in the West Bank city of Ramallah. Getty. Demonstrators set U.S. and Israeli flags on fire during a protest against Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, in Istanbul. Reuters. People gather to watch the bikers' procession during the funeral ceremony in tribute to late French singer Johnny Hallyday in Paris. EPAA. Palestinian protester uses a sling to hurl stones towards Israeli troops. Reuters. Firefighters monitor a section of the Thomas Fire along the 101 freeway, north of Ventura, California. Getty Images. Palestinians burn an Israeli and a U.S. flag during a protest against the U.S. intention to move its embassy to Jerusalem and to recognize the city of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, in Gaza City. Reuters. Former Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili flashes a victory sign after he was freed by his supporters in Kiev. Reuters. A man exercises in a park on a winter morning in Kolkata, India. Reuters. A supporter of Salvador Nasrallah, presidential candidate for the opposition alliance against the dictatorship, puts a balloon on the shield of a soldier in a protest while the country is still mired in chaos over a contested presidential election in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Reuters. A man dressed as Santa Claus skis down a mountain during the St. Nicholas Day at the Alpine ski resort of Verbier, Switzerland. Reuters. A nurse takes blood for a HIV test for French President Emmanuel Macron as he visits the Delafontaine Hospital on World AIDS Day. Reuters. An activist pours gasoline as an effigy of President Rodrigo Duterte and U.S. President Donald Trump burns during a protest action against Duterte's plan to set up a revolutionary government, along a street in Metro Manila, Philippines. Reuters. South Korea's Hyunmoo-2 missile is fired during an exercise at an undefined location in the east coast of South Korea. The Defense Ministry Yonhap via Reuters. People fall as police fire tear gas to try control the crowd trying to force way into Kasarani Stadium to attend the inauguration of President Uhuru Kenyatta in Nairobi. Reuters. Rohingya refugee Amina Khartoum, 55, rests at the bank of the Naf River after crossing it on an improvised raft to reach Bangladesh, in Teknaf. Two of her sons were killed by gunfire when her village was attacked by Myanmar military, she says. Reuters. Mount Agung volcano is seen spewing smoke and ash in Bali. Emilio Cosmafloyd via Reuters. A Pakistani protester throws a tear gas shell bag towards police during a clash in Islamabad. Getty Images. Zimbabwe's former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa arrives ahead of his inauguration ceremony to be sworn in as president in Harare. Reuters. Comrades of missing crew members express their grief after the Argentine Navy announced that the sound detected in the missing submarine search is consistent with an explosion. AFP. Former Bosnian Serb military chief Ratko Mladic shouts a presiding judge during the verdict hearing in his genocide trial, in The Hague, Netherlands. EPA. People and soldiers celebrate after the resignation of Zimbabwe's president, Robert Mugabe. Getty. Israeli security forces carry away an ultra-Orthodox Jewish demonstrator as they disperse a protest against Israeli army conscription in Bnei Brak, a city near Tel Aviv. Getty. Participants crossing the Jiaozhou Bridge as they compete in the 2017 Qingdao International Marathon on the sea in Qingdao, in China's eastern Shandong province. Getty. Women shout pro-freedom slogans as people carry the remains of Mujiz Mir, a suspected militant who, according to local media, was killed in an encounter with the Indian security forces in Zakura, during his funeral in Srinagar. Reuters. Danish Ismail riot. Police use stones to disperse the convoy of Kenyan opposition leader Raila Odinga as they attempt to access the Uhuru Park grounds upon his return. Reuters. Donald Trump has awkward water bottle moment at the White House while talking about his latest overseas trip in Asia. EPA. Military vehicles and soldiers patrol the streets in Harare, Zimbabwe. Reuters. Philemon Bulawayo. An Iranian boy rides a bicycle through the rubble from damaged buildings in the town of Sarpol Sahib. A 7.3 magnitude earthquake left hundreds killed and thousands homeless 2 days before. Getty Images. Gianluigi Buffon reacts during Italy's World Cup qualification match against Sweden. He retired from international duty after the Azzurri failed to go through. Getty. People hold placards demanding the return of Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri from Saudi Arabia during the annual Beirut International Marathon. EPA.